Hey, the cameras are working. You get to see the top of my head while I'm looking at the table. Okay, think we're ready. So I'm going to call to order the Planning and Zoning Commission, the Tuesday, September 23rd. It's a 6 o'clock meeting. I'm going to call it to order at 6 o'clock exactly. Randy, can you denote roll call? And I will mention that Justin is not here tonight. So Mike, you're going to no longer be the alternate tonight. And I will also add, Justin has resigned as of a few days ago, I think for personal reasons, but we now have a new full-time commissioner. Congratulations, Mike. You think, yeah. So I guess with that said, there is 2 other spots that are open for alternates. I think I have a lead on one person, but if anybody on the committee knows of anybody that's interested, please let me know, or ultimately Jane knows. She's the one that does the appointments. With that, I will move on to item number 2, Pledge of Allegiance. Colleen, can I get you to lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item number 3 is approval of the minutes. We have 1 minute in our packet. It is August 26th of 2025. Is there a motion or discussion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Doug. Is there a second?
A second.
So seconded by Mike, and Doug, I'm assuming it was to approve as written, right?
Yes.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
I
Any opposed?
I'd like
Any
to abstain.
abstentions? Yep. So motion passes 6-0-1. Thank you. Item number 4, appearances before the commission. We have 1 person in the audience. I'm assuming is here on an agenda item.
Yep, he is here for the items that are listed on the agenda.
Okay. Presentation and discussions, there is none. An action item is 6.1, public hearing to consider the request to rezone the southeastern 8.71 acres of a parcel on the agenda, which is 7277 County Highway I, from A3 Agricultural Transition District to M2 General Industrial District. And the remainder of that 21.68 acres from A3 district to the A4 small lot exclusive agricultural district. I'm opening that hearing at 6:03. Brandy or any?
Mark is available via Zoom, and he will be leading the discussion on these items tonight, so.
Thank you, Mark. Do you want to say anything during the hearing, or would you rather hold off until the actual item?
Given the number of people in the audience, I'll hold off and be available for questions, but I'll present on the items when they come up.
Thank you, Mark. Seeing nobody wishing to speak or filling out a form, I think we're pretty clear online. So I will close the public hearing at 6:04 and move on to item 6.2, which is discussion and recommendation on a request to rezone southern approximately 8.71 acres of everything that I already read at 6.1. So with that, discussion and recommendation, Mark, do you want to start?
Yeah, Jim, wouldn't you mind reading the next item in the agenda? They're really two sides of the same coin.
Yep, perfect. So item 6.3 is discussion and recommendation on a certified survey map to divide the 21.68 acre parcel denoted on the agenda, which is 7277 County Highway I, into 3 lots for non-residential development purposes and to dedicate right away for the future road extension. Thank you for that suggestion, Mark.
Thank
Will
you, Jim.
Start the discussion if you can.
Yes, I hopefully you're seeing my screen right now, on which you'll see a map of the northwest part of the village. This 22 acre piece is in blue. It's land currently owned by Lisa Thur, but part of it, the southern part of the dumbbell, is there's an option to purchase from the Pomps Tire Company to Lisa. That Pomps is currently occupying the site to the south and would be relocating a short couple hundred feet to the north with this proposal. The proposal before you tonight is for both a rezoning of this 22 acres and a certified survey map to subdivide the land. The area you see labeled 1 in black, or lot number 1, is about 6 acres that Pomps would utilize to build its new facility. You saw a concept back in May for that facility. That concept is still in evolution, and we will be expecting a site plan application in the near future. As I understand it, the Pomps Tire Company would also obtain or require lot 2 available for future development. Both lots 1 and 2, the areas are proposed to be rezoned to M2, general industrial zoning. And that would enable that Pomps Tire facility to move forward in other development. The lands proposed as lot 3 to the north is being held for future development. Much of that area was awarded a conditional use permit for a mineral extraction operation back in 2024 when this land was still in the town of Vienna. So that would not be developed now, and that A4 zoning district is sort of a holding zone pending that future development. The other thing you'll see on the certified survey map is a street labeled Future Street for now. It is a proposed public right-of-way dedication that would be within which would be built a street when that lot 3 was developed. The proposed zoning to M2 is consistent with the village's comprehensive plan, which designates this entire area for either or both commercial or industrial development. The comprehensive plan further goes on to recommend that if it's industrial development, it ought to develop to commercial standards, meaning building materials, landscaping, screening of outdoor storage and other things, so that the entire area has a overall commercial feel to it. The recommendation tonight is embedded within draft village board approval ordinance. You'd be the recommending body as the plan commission on both the rezoning and the certified survey map. The ordinance suggests that, make it a little bigger, suggests that the land would be rezoned in the way I described. And it also, in its section 2, notes a couple things. First, that the rezoning wouldn't take effect until the certified survey map is recorded, and there's a certain period of time, basically a half a year, to get that done. And secondly, second suggested condition of the rezoning is that when we get development proposals forward within the MT2 rezoning area, those standards related to landscaping, building walls, outdoor storage, tree preservation would be similar to those within the B2, which is the business zoning district. We've implemented this strategy in other areas, namely the Northtown Corporate Park area, where we have kind of a blending of commercial and industrial development together. Sections 3 and 4 relate to the certified survey map and the conditions of approval of the CSM. Sorry for all the yellow. I realize that's really jarring right now. We have a minor set of comments from the village engineer. The applicant and their engineer and surveyor have been very cooperative in getting the CSM into the shape it is already. So there are a few just minor comments. The second comment is noteworthy. We are deep in the process of getting this land added to the urban service area and the Madison Metropolitan District service territory, which is essential to be able to extend sewer service to the area. We're not quite there yet. We've got a favorable recommendation from the Regional Planning Commission. The urban service area is in the DNR hands for approval, and then MMSD would take over. We anticipate that'll all be done within the next 30 to 40 days. But in any case, the CSM can't be recorded until that happens. So we don't have the potential for approved industrial zoning without the ability to serve it with sewer service. And in fact, condition 4 relates to the suggestion that all development would be connected to sewer and water services. 5 and 6 relate to a normal subdivision ordinance requirement that with a CSM that has public dedication, we would get preliminary engineering plans. We do not have those plans at this time. What condition 5 suggests is that before any development on those 2 southern lots, 1 and 2, that we would get those engineering plans. So basically with the site plan submittal, and sewer and water would be extended to the north line along County Highway I of whatever lot was developed at the time. Condition 6 relates more to that lot 3, that northwest area where the extraction is going on now. And that at such time that lot 3 is proposed for any development, there would be engineering plans connected to that future street, if you remember that east-west street where the right-of-way is dedicated, that would take place at that time. So those are conditions of CSM approval. In order to allow those conditions, section 4 of the ordinance allows for or suggests that the commission support a board waiver for submittal of preliminary engineering plans at this time. It's kind of a mouthful with a relatively modest proposal, but we think it's important to get the ducks in the row and give everyone their sort of instructions as to when things need to happen and how, in order to make this land fully developable over time. With that, I'll conclude the presentation and be available for questions, and I'll bring up a potential motion if and when you guys are ready for that.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
That is open up to commissioners. Anybody wishing to make a motion or continue the discussion? Mike,
Make the motion if you could sort of pull it up.
can you bring the mic closer, Mike?
Mike, could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Mark, can you just pull up the motion language?
Oh, absolutely.
Again,
Delighted.
there is 2 different agenda items that we open, so we probably want to do one at a time, I'm thinking. That's up to you, Mike.
Yeah, so Mike, here's the first motion. It would be, you could basically, repeat this verbatim. That relates to the rezoning, and then when you or someone else is ready for the certified survey map, the second paragraph in this green box relates to that.
Very good. I would propose a motion to recommend the village board approval of the rezoning of the southeastern 8.71 acres parcel 0909144806-1 from A3 Agriculture Transition District to M2 General Industrial District, and the remainder of that 21.68 acre parcel from the A3 district to the A4 district, small lot exclusive agricultural district, subject to the conditions listed in section 2 of the attached draft board approval ordinance.
Thank you, Mike. There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Lisa. The second by Lisa. Further discussion?
Had one
Yes, Mike.
question, and I think it was in the material. Access to that lot, Mark, was from the south, if I remember. Is that correct?
Access to the lots would be, I'll go get the CSM back up here. They would be different for each lot.
Correct. That's what I saw, if I remember right.
Sorry, I'm making everyone sick. So access to lot 1 would be from County Highway I from the east. Access to lot 2 would be from the north via what's now Zoe Lane. This map may even be better because over time, once that east-west street is built, you will see kind of a reconfiguration of, this is a non-technical term, a somewhat screwy Zoe Lane orientation right now, where there'd be the new street that would extend pretty much due west from its current opening here. So lot 2 would take access somewhere from the north. Lot 3 would have a couple of options, and we might expect lot 3 even to be subdivided to have access either from Zoe Lane or the future street or both.
Thank you, Mark.
Sure.
Thank you. Any further comments or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Thank you. So item 6.3 is still on the table, and I'd be looking for discussion on that or a recommendation.
Okay. Propose a motion to recommend the village board approval of the attached CSM to divide 21.6 acre parcel 090914-8066-1 into 3 lots for non-residential development purposes and dedicate right away for future road extension, subject to the conditions and waiver of sections 3 and 4 of the attached draft board ordinance.
Thank you. Motion
Second.
by Mike, seconded by Colleen. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I do have one comment I want to bring up. And the CSM, or Mark maybe. The right away of the CSM, like say where like the L1 is.
Mm-hmm.
I just noted when the, say, road gets reconfigured in the future on that other exhibit, that to me is a bit of like excess lands that we probably don't necessarily need in right away. I'm assuming we don't want to necessarily deal with that now, that's something we do in the future, or is that something we can address now even?
A good point, Jim. There's 110 feet wide of right of way connecting to County I'm not precisely sure why that is, but that's what was dedicated when what was formerly Ziegler implement was built to the north. We're not 100% sure on an engineering design for how these roads will interact in the future. So what we would prefer is just to leave that dedicated right of way alone for now. When the final engineering design comes forward, it could be, exactly like this. And then you're absolutely right, Jim, all this right of way you see down here, if you follow the hand, would no longer be necessary. At that point in time, that could be vacated and put back into private hands for development of presumably a lot 2, although there's some complicated, sometimes legal arrangements for how land gets returned once it's vacated. So short answer, I would leave it alone right now, and gives us the most flexibility to design the intersection in the future the way it would make sense in the future, whether it's like this or something different.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Just glad you had that thought or those comments. So there is a motion on the floor again. Any other comments, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you.
Thank you all and good luck. I guess for the applicant, both of these things go to the village board. I guess for us, the future site plan, is that gonna come here? Is that become a minor site plan?
No, that would come before commission.
Okay.
And potentially a conditional use permit.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we
Yeah,
will see you again, but thank you very much.
Thanks, Kurt.
So chair's report. The village board meeting. We continued some discussions about budget, talked about the capital improvement plan, forest budget on policies or budget policies. We had a presentation from the 4th of July about how well that went. We also had, a discussion from an individual from Municipal Code Enforcement LLC. That's something that the, village board is entertaining, I think, putting in our budget potentially for next year. That would get us some assistance to enforcing some of our codes that currently, I guess I can just leave it at that. Everybody knows we're all busy and we might get assistance through that, so. Village board meeting, we did pass a resolution for the TIF District 7 that we discussed here. There was a discussion on an agreement for DeForest Yards. We received a grant, a carbon reduction grant from WSDOT for trail construction on Highway V. And this is actually from Main Street to River Road. So I think that's going to be huge to have that completed. I think it's a few years yet, but we got the grant for it now. And there was a 3-lot CSM that was approved. That was in front of us at the last meeting, the 3-lot CSM that's on Campbell Hill South Street area that was being divided up between the property owners. And the other thing that happened at the village board is that we had a trustee resign. I think we all are aware of the recall election. So there was a turnover of a trustee with the recall, but another trustee resigned. I can't tell you for sure what the process is, but if there's anybody listening or on this committee that may be interested, I'd probably reach out to Jane is probably the best person, or you can talk to Colleen or I too. It's everything that happened at the board level. Thank you guys, I'll say, for a generally fast meeting, and because of that, I want to sort of interrupt the chair report and maybe add some additional to the chair report, because I went to some leadership training today, which I do often, but I'll say there's some trickle down effects that I like to bring to this meeting, because I've had some conversations, say with Jane and other things, and I want to, I guess I'll start off by apologizing because there was an item that we discussed here. Specifically, it was an item of concern of about minor versus, I guess, major, whatever, site plan review. And I had a dissenting opinion from what was approved at this committee level. And when it went to village board, I continued my dissension, I'll say, and spoke to try to change it. And what I lacked in doing was reiterating that this committee approved it as it was presented to the village board. I believe it was in the packet, but again, I apologize that I didn't present that clearly when I spoke at the village board. I did hear that through other individuals that there was committee members here that raised that concern. I'll say I heard it. Well, I guess I don't need to say who I heard it from, but I heard it was from a couple members here. So that again brings me back to the leadership training that I had today. And I realized that a lot of you don't know some of my history. And what I want to say is sort of my chairing of committees started many years ago, really when I was at a church committee. And that church was in sort of dire trouble at the time, and the order of not having money to pay payroll and the threat of closing down. And it was very tumultuous or whatever. But through being president of the church at that time, I want to state that I want to be open. So I want you all to feel like you can call me. I'll give you all my number after this meeting or in an email anytime, or I think it might even be on the village board website. So please feel like you can call me. I don't mind if I hear it, say your comments from the president, but also know that feel open to call me. I'll say I've been an engineer for a long time. That's a lot of the things that we work with as communities, and I've been confronted numerous times in public forums for whatever, building a roundabout or taking people's lands. I am used to that. Again, going back to the church, I've been called the devil at the church and warned that their relatives might come out of the grave to choke me out. So again, I say that a bit in jest, but please feel free that I'm here if you ever want to talk. And say with the continuation, as far as being a chairperson, I try to run the meetings, giving everybody the opportunity to talk. And I do know that does prolong meetings, and that's maybe a discussion we could have going forward. Again, I try to be open and let everybody talk, but maybe we can decide as a committee in the future if we want to try to limit it or for sake of time. I mean, again, it's nice when we have these shorter meetings, but we can have those conversations, and I hope, and what I really look for committee members, and I know I mentioned that we have two alternatives. And the type of people that I look for is people that really have opinions and are willing to speak up. So I hope you all feel that way, that I lead the meetings or facilitate the meetings with giving you all the opportunity to speak up, and please don't hold back your opinions during the meeting or after the meetings. Again, feel free to call me. And I think that's about all I want to say. I would just leave you with the one quote that I got from the leadership meeting today. None of us are as smart as all of us together. So again, feel free to state your opinions because it's those opinions that lead into discussion that get us to the better solutions. So with that, anybody wanted to comment, please do now, or I'll call at the end of the president's or chair's report. Thank you. Staff report? Site plan approval, CSM. Development process and enforcement suggestions. Next meeting, October 28th. Assuming a decently full meeting, or we for sure will have a meeting, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we'll definitely be having a meeting. I can't promise you how small or large the agenda will be.
Well, from my conversations, we've got a lot going on in the village, so
Mhm.
it will be a busy winter, I'm sure too. So item number 8. Anybody? Mike's gonna continue.
Sure, why not? Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Mike, seconded by Lisa. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. We adjourned at 6:31. Thank you all.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.